My name is Lindsay Lee Hobson, and I work with organisations to elevate their emerging leaders and create the ultimate next generation of leadership. But what a lot of people still don't know is I actually founded the Learning and Development Forum late last year, where L&D professionals come together to support each other and exchange trending topics and innovative ideas and the best suppliers for their 2022 calendar. And today I'm joined by one such member, Dobbin, who's the Director of Change Management and Implementation from Dale Carnegie. Welcome, Graham.
Hi, Lindsay. Good to see you.
It's so good to have you here, and we're joined here today because you're actually speaking at the Forum's upcoming conference on attracting talent and engaging teams. But before we get into that, I'd love to know a little bit about you and what it's like to be a Graham at Dale Carnegie, a day in the life of.
A day in the life of. Do you know what, Lindsay? It seems to change almost every week at the moment. There's so much going on within our industry and within kind of movement of people. A large part of my day is how do we be creative? How do we kind of reimagine what we're doing? I'm working with the sales team and the training team to make sure that everything we've got is absolutely up to date. In fact, we've just taken on some interns as well who are looking at the trends for us, just full time looking at what's happening in the market to make sure that we're not going off old data, that we're actually using as much information as we can get hold of, to make sure that we're keeping in front and being able to talk to clients really, really in depth about it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's such an important part of what you do too. And what is it in particular about what you do that you love?
I suppose it's that change. It's really easy. I suppose when I first came into kind of professional development and training, it was always I love connecting with people and we like to see the change in people. And that's true. But actually being that go-to, understanding what's happening and being part of a global organization, we're really lucky that we can see trends, we can see curves before they happen in certain areas. We saw that in the last 2 years. It's been so useful. And that really excites me, just being able to kind of interpret what's going on. There's no two areas or countries are the same, but it gives us a good indication. And just being at that forefront and begin to kind of dissect it and understand it, that's what keeps me going. It's good fun. It's good fun.
Oh, it sounds amazing. And one of the biggest questions that we've had here in the forum, which I know echoes what you have in your trends and the data you're seeing out there as well, is about how you can attract talent and harness professional development to actually engage your team further, which is actually what you're speaking on at the conference, which we're very lucky to have. So tell us a little bit about that and what you're seeing in that space.
Lindsay, I feel lucky to be asked, so thank you. It's interesting. I was looking at this earlier. We did a webinar in, I think, October last year on the Great Resignation. Saw this coming, and it seems such a long time ago. Nobody's really speaking about that now. And we normally get 40 or 50 people on. We got about 300. So it was obviously a big topic. And whatever label we want to put on this, what we know is there's a movement. We had this during the Great Financial Collapse as well, where during that crisis where people kind of lost jobs or began to reevaluate lives, and that's what we're seeing now. And that makes it particularly difficult for companies to hold on to good talent when there's kind of external influences and external thoughts. So what we're seeing is people being really creative about how they get talent. The old ways are a really good indicator, but not necessarily all that we can do. So we're really at the forefront now. We've got 4 clients now that we're working with over kind of like 2-year projects of how they bring through emerging leaders, which you spoke about, how they build up talent through maybe graduate programs and give them that little bit more than technical knowledge to give real value, and then also attract people who have got, let's get it, there's a lot of choice out there at the moment. There's a lot of choice.
Yes, absolutely. And it's really impacting organizations as a whole. And on the learning and development front, for the professionals such as those in the forum, it's something that they're being asked about on quite a regular basis. So with what you've learnt so far and what you've shared and taught other companies so far, how will the members of the forum be able to take what you're sharing and apply it to their everyday life?
Okay. here's the key. One of the things that jumped out, we're constantly looking at surveys, and one that came through from LinkedIn was looking at about the top 5 drivers of a great work culture. Now, if you've got a good work culture, great work culture, we know that's what engages people. Number 1 at that, at the moment, is opportunities to learn and grow. Now, that's number 1. This is from employees. The most significant part of that is that actually moved up from 9th place 2 years ago. Wow. So number 2 is belonging. So now we're beginning to see that there's a lot more going on. This isn't new. We've known this. Learning development professionals have known this for years, but through Hertzberg's model of motivation, we know that money just doesn't do it. Salaries and conditions are kind of part of it, but everything's about how do people develop, giving them the space to be able to do that, making it more attractive. And what we are hearing a lot of are companies throwing money at the problem at the moment. And we believe there's actually going to be what we've coined internally as the Great Correction. And we're looking at that towards end of this year, beginning of next year, where companies have spent maybe we're hearing 2 and 3 times salaries to attract talent. They might not be getting the value back. There was a reason that the salaries were there before. We'll also have a point where people have maybe seen the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not necessarily the case. Where they go and work somewhere else, yeah, maybe the money is good, but what are the conditions like? What is the culture like? How tied into this business am I? So we see that there is potentially another big movement going on, and learning development professionals, companies need to get themselves into a position where they're the most attractive out there. How do we get into the employee's eyes? How do we see it from their perspective? Not just what works for us, but what really works for them. So opportunities to learn and grow being number 1 is good to know that, but what does that actually mean? What does it look like? And it will be different for every business.
Absolutely, and I think it's such a powerful topic. In one of the last forum sessions, we spoke primarily about that and just bouncing ideas around about what we could do. Mm-hmm. But what I'm really excited about is you have the answers for that, and it's going to be an absolutely fantastic session at the conference. And I know that you've only been a member of the Learning and Development Forum for a little while, but one of your team members, Rachel O'Brien, has been a member for a lot longer. So tell us a little bit about your experiences in the Learning and Development Forum so far.
Lynn, I know when we spoke quite recently, I said to you, it's really unusual for someone to be able to, create a forum, create a community. I like to see it as a community. Create a community that of professionals who are in the same kind of sphere who will collaborate, and that's what's really unusual about this. Learning development's really unusual, where it's a lot of it's about opinions. We can have so many different approaches, and several of them can work. There's not always one answer, but just having a really safe space to be able to bounce these things off, be able to ask other people's opinions, and come up with ideas and kind of get that little bit of a test is I think it's fairly unique, Lindsay. I've worked in the UK and the US, and I've not seen anybody pull this off. So great job.
Oh, thank you. And I think it really comes down to members such as yourself and their willingness and their openness to support each other and be vulnerable and throw out some hairy ideas every now and again and see what sticks. And I think that's what makes the collective so powerful. So thank you for being a part of that. And when it comes to the conference itself, it is in the metaverse and we're sponsored by Topia, which is incredible. What are you looking forward to most about being part of the conference?
Well, number 1, the sheer fact that you've got a sponsor shows the importance of it. And it shows the value and the credibility of the conference itself. Secondly, I would have said probably 2.5 years ago, I was quite happy. Give me a flip chart, give me a room full of people, and I'm okay. I'm good. Having had to embrace technology has been huge, and I absolutely love it. We've got global clients who will not move away from online learning for at least the next 12 months. They've already committed. They're happy with it. And just the sheer fact that we're showing some flexibility, and the metaverse is the next stage. It's coming. We need to be aware of it. So I've gone from being very comfortable to what I do, to absolutely embracing technology, and to be at the forefront of this, Lindsay. I'm really excited.
So am I. It's going to be an absolutely incredible session, and I'm very much looking forward to some of the information that you'll be sharing, because as I said, it is such a big question for so many L&D professionals. So a big thank you to you, Graham, for being part of this experience, as well as a giant thank you to all our other contributors and our sponsor, Topia. This conference is coming up in a couple of weeks, so make sure that if you haven't already registered, whether you're a member of the forum or not, you find the link around this video and join us for this world first L&D conference in the metaverse. Thank you once again, Graham, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Thanks for asking me.